Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Luigi's Mansion. It is now time to re-enter the mansion, and we are now going to be starting up Area 3. So, as you can see, that club-shaped key is actually going to unlock the door all the way at the end of the hallway on the first floor. However, since we now have the water element medal, there's actually some backtracking that is very important to do at this current moment. However, now that I'm thinking about it, we actually need to go ahead and grab some water to put into our Poltergust 3000 because there's actually some things we need to use it for in order to get some more very valuable goodies. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about. But basically, we can now water some plants around the mansion. Well, we can water all of the plants around the mansion, and they will actually allow you to receive some additional valuables. So colored stones and I believe even diamonds are hidden in some of the plants, kind of, spread out throughout the mansion. I don't remember, I don't think we can get any water in the washroom. Right? For some reason that was the first room that popped in my head. Here's a bathroom, and I think we should be able to get the water out of the bathtub. Please? Okay, perfect. Alright, so here we go. Quick little water fill up here if you're needing the water element and you are, at the very beginning of the mansion. The first floor right here at the end of the hallway in that first bathroom is actually a perfect place to get it. So now that we are back in the master bedroom, if you remember that plant in the very corner of the room, we can now water it to get a green colored stone. Very nice. Again, very important and worth it coming back into some of these earlier rooms, especially if you are planning on beating this game at 100%, of course. Traveling back out to this very first balcony where we found Toad in the very first area of the game, you water one of the plants out here, you will find a blue colored stone. So very nice, and again, very worth it. And Toad is just kind of doing his thing still out here. You will still find a lot of good stuff in some of the other plants that don't release colored stones, like, these coins, bills, even some gold bars you might periodically find within some of these plants. So very important to water them all. Any plants you see, once you have the water element, make sure you water it. Alright, so it is now time to arrive at the door that is covered in vines, and just like normal, we're going to unlock it and open up the vines with our new club key. Here we go. As you can see, it even has the symbol of the club symbol right on the door, which is kind of cool. And before we actually move forward, one other thing I forgot to do was to come back out here in the boneyard. Now you can see the plant has grown a little bit more, and remember when I said it's important to come back and revisit this? Well, if you water it again, it is going to blossom into a lovely little flower. Now, we're going to want to revisit this plant one more time in the game, but for now, we're just going to water it once, and we're pretty much fine here. So now that we have all that done, it is finally time to move forward within the mansion. Alright, so as you can see, this door has led us back outside. So we are now in the courtyard. From what I remember, this is the largest outside portion of the mansion that you will find in the game. So this is essentially the backyard, so to speak. And we have a nice little lovely fountain here, which is so freaking cool. If this mansion, as much as it is creepy, it's so prestigious. Like, this place is just, like, I would live here if it wasn't for all the ghosts inhabiting it. Currently, I would totally live here and I would sleep here. Hell, I would even do it with the ghosts here. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's always good to have company, right? But if you water one of these plants right here around the fountain, you will find another green colored stone. So very cool. Again, any plant you find, it doesn't matter what size, big or small, tall or thin, you want to water the heck out of that thing. We have more of these guys, which I don't know how they are hanging outside because there's no ceiling out here. So I guess they're just hanging from the trees, I guess, even though we don't really see where their body connects, which is kind of weird. We have a birdhouse right here, which is kind of random, but if we vacuum it or tap on it, we will find something special. And it is Mario's letter. I wonder what it says. So yes, so one of Mario's belongings actually found right outside here in the courtyard. So very cool indeed. And we have a bunch of stuff to explore out here, actually. And these ghosts can get very annoying. These are probably the more annoying ghosts of the entire game just because of their freaking yapping they do as soon as they lunge out at you. Kind of gruesome, kind of weird. But we're going to go ahead and see if we can clean up some of these ghosts out here. Because believe it or not, you can actually clear this area outside. Just like you can on, like, you know, when we did in the balcony in the first area. But inside this little shed, we have Toad.
Something terrible is in that well.
Alright, so I'm not really sure what Toad's talking about, but apparently we need to go back over to a well, which we actually just passed over a little bit ago. So let's go ahead and head back over there and see what the hubbub is about. Get rid of this guy. And look at that, we have lit up the courtyard outside. Very nice indeed. We're not leaving any section of this place untouched. Open this chest up and we get a bunch of goodies. We have a couple gold bars and a lot more coins and of course bills. We want to go ahead and suck up all that. Add that to our currency total. Very nice. And we want to go ahead and just want to explore a little bit more on this side. As you can see, there's a towel just kind of randomly hanging on this little thing out of this tree. You can suck it up. Nothing really to get out of that. But notice this. This is the well I guess Toad was talking about. So let's go ahead and climb down here because there's conveniently a ladder just to get down inside of it. Kind of creepy and dark, but if we go over here, what do we have? Bottom of the well. What is this? Get me out of here! The dramatics, man. So yeah, so Mario is actually trapped in a painting inside of that room. And there, of course, is randomly a ghost just right there, allowing us to grab a key. And actually, we can light up the inside of this well, which is kind of interesting. But that key is going to allow us to progress even further. So we actually were not even able to progress without going down in this well. And of course, discovering that Mario is, of course, trapped inside of a painting. So very creepy indeed. That is a lot of foreshadowing. One of the biggest foreshadowing scenes in this game. So yeah, so we know where Mario's located now. Now, the only thing we have to figure out is how the hell do we get in that room. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to find that out until much later. I'm not going to really spoil anything. But for now, we're just going to continue onwards and act like we didn't see anything because that's what we have to do, unfortunately. Toad's still a crying mess. Let's see if he gets cheered up now that's lit up.
You saw him, didn't you? How could they do that to Mario? When I saw him like that, I completely lost it and ran through the mansion looking for a hiding place. While I was running, though, I did happen to notice that Mario left some of his things lying around the place. A hat, a glove, a shoe, a letter, and a star. I saw 5 items altogether.
Interesting.
I'd go collect them for you if I could remember where they were. Yeah, I probably should have picked some up.
Yeah, that would have been helpful, Toad. Come on. One thing you had one job.
Well, how? Really? You'll find all Mario's items for me? Yippee, skip, yahoo! Oh, thank you so much, Luigi.
Alright, so it looks like we have made Toad happy by, I guess, informing him that he does not have to do any work. I mean, I think the same thing has happened in really any major Mario game. Toad somehow gets to weasel his way out of the hard work. But it's okay, because we're Luigi, even though we're not really the main character for most of the time. We're going to take it on anyways. We have now arrived in the rec room. Inside of this little exercise machine, you will find another Speedy Spirit. And he's going to drop a red colored stone. So 2 more collectibles right off the bat in this room. Very cool indeed. And as you can see, we have something lifting the weight right there. And it is, of course, the next Portrait Ghost. So let's go ahead and see what his heart has to say. Look at this buffness. I'm huge. How'd you like to be my punching bag, weakling? Alright, so this is actually Biff Atlas. He is the next Portrait Ghost of the game. And he is actually an optional Portrait Ghost of the game. But we're going to go ahead and take him on. So what we want to do here, based off of the reading we got from the Game Boy Horror, your hint, and of course I would take a fall there. Your hint is to punch the punching bag directly at Biff. It is going to knock him out. You want to make sure you do it 3 times because 3 times is the charm, of course. And then that will actually expose his heart, allowing you to then capture him. This guy is not too easy at all. He was probably one of the more difficult to capture. That's why I actually left and saved before coming back in here. But it looks like we're going to do it in one go here. Very nice. We got a gold frame there. But yeah, he is probably one of the more challenging, other than, of course, Mr. Lug and a few others coming up much later on. I would definitely take the liberty of saving before coming into this room. If you're going for a golden frame, you don't want to mess it up. You can mess it up very easily because, like I said, he does pull quite a bit of a punch. He will drag you around a lot more than most of the portrait ghosts we've already seen so far. So definitely take that, or, keep that in mind for sure. In this chest, we're going to, of course, find a silver diamond with a bunch of other lovely valuables. Because this is an optional portrait ghost, and it's the second one, so he is going to release a silver diamond, just like all the other optional ghosts in the game. So we have 3 more of those left to find, and we are just getting started. So, opening up this drawer, we have now found another Boo, and it is Beauregard, not one of my favorite names of the Boos. Kind of lazy in my opinion, but it is the name of this Boo, so we're going to not offend him, I guess. But it looks like we're going to get him in one go. Man, we got him right before he went through that wall. Very cool. And we're going to move right along with the Boo count. So yeah, we're going to record that in our system here. And that's number 14. So we still have a long way to go. But we're still making progress. I have to say. We're not doing too bad. We're progressing on. And we are, we're kicking butt as we're doing it. I don't know. I just had to come up with something right there on the spot. That's just how I roll. But anyways, we have now cleared the rec room. Which means it's now time to continue onward. So we are now able to go upstairs. Remember that room that was locked at the very end of this hallway on the far side of the first floor? Well, guess what? We are now on the other side of that door, and it's still locked, unfortunately, so we don't have a quick way of getting, to the staircase unless we go all the way around the courtyard and all that good stuff. But upstairs, we will find another door on fire. And of course, we will need the water element in order to hose that down, but we don't have any water right now, unfortunately. We used the rest of it on some of those plants that we watered to get some nice rewards from. We're just going to continue on. We have some more yellow bats right here we can suck up. And we are now on the second floor. As you can see, there's a doorway here. Man, there's 2 of these guys harassing me at once. I don't really like that. There's actually a door there that's boarded up. So that's actually very interesting. And we will not get into that room for quite a while. We are able to get in there, just not right now. But it is a very interesting room indeed. And that's all I'm going to say for now. As you can see, we have a ton more rooms to explore. So let's go ahead and get started. We have a locked door right there next to us. We can't do anything on this side. And man, I guess these guys just kind of spawn in as a pair with their freaking bowling bombs. I mean, these guys are horrible, I have to say. Go ahead and suck up some of these rodents here. These ghost rodents, I should say. And of course, we got more of these lovely guys with the 0 HP. I don't know why they're... I love how the ones that are the most aggressive and cocky have like the less amount of HP. Like the least amount of HP out of every ghost. Like 0 HP and you're that arrogant? Like, oh my goodness, dude. But anyways... I'm gonna check the map one more time. So yeah, it looks like all 3 of these doors are accessible. So let's try this first one. And it looks like we are in another bathroom or another washroom. And we have our first instance of a fire elemental ghost. So of course, I actually went ahead and grabbed some water out of that toilet. That way we can go ahead and weaken it in order to capture it. And we have another chest right here. Another toilet. Unfortunately, nothing inside that toilet. Very unfortunate, but hey. Toilets have actually helped us out in the past in this game, so it was worth a shot. Creepy little poster on the wall, but if we open this chest, we have nothing but money. But that's not really a bad thing because money is something that's very good for us in this game. No keys, unfortunately, but if you remember on the map, we have 2 more doors to explore. So let's get at it. So these 2 doors right here is where we want to actually go next. However, let me see what I can get out of this. Nothing. Okay, let's go back over this way. And yeah, there's actually no Boo in that room. Is that... Am I mistaken there? Was there... Yeah, there wasn't any Boo in there. In here, we have another bathroom. And it looks like it's being used by somebody or something. I don't really know if we want to disturb them quite yet. We do actually want to clear that room in there. Actually, let me go back in. Is there anything? Nothing over here? Okay, I thought there was maybe something we can get out over there. I'm going to shake the sink a little bit because why not? Test it out. But we're going to come back in there a little bit later. Not right now. We need to do something first. Now that we have some H2O in our Poltergust 3000, we can now water this fire to put it out. And we have to, of course, wait for the smoke to clear. And we can now enter this room right here now that it's cleared off. And this is the tea room. So we have a lot of interesting stuff to find in this room right now. So the first things first is, as you can see, there actually is, never mind. I was going to say that I don't think there's any ghosts that pop up automatically, but I was wrong. As you can see, we have stepped on something interesting. We are now on the ceiling. So there are occasionally going to be these little mats. You can't really tell in the dark yet. I'm vacuum this ghost up because he's kind of getting in my way here. But there are some pads that will allow you to switch from the floor to the ceiling. Kind of useful. We will see this a couple of times throughout the mansion, but it is kind of cool nonetheless. So actually these pads have arrows on them, indicating that you can actually use them to switch from the floor to the ceiling, allowing you to get to areas within a room that you normally wouldn't be able to. And in this drawer, actually didn't mean to open that, but there's actually a red colored stone you can get just by opening one of those drawers right there on the right. There's a couple other things we want to grab first, so I don't want to clear the room out yet. Yep, right there it is. So let me take care of these plates. Yeah, we got flying plates at us. This room is pretty annoying with the flying objects. Right here is a cheese wedge. Scan it for another golden mouse. Do not want him to get away. And of course, this tablecloth's going to get in my vacuum. Oh, come on. I'm not going to lose him. Boom. Here we go. Golden mouse. I think that's number 6. And we have another red colored stone. So 2 red colored stones right in this room. Do not pass those up. Of course, the mouse is easy to pass up. That drawer, I guess both of them are actually pretty easy to pass up, but you don't want to miss either one. We just have a heart on this side, but there's still some freaking plates flying at our head, so we want to make sure we take care of them. And there's actually one more thing we can get in here. I'm going to go outside and go back in because we have another golden mouse. It should spawn. Again, it's a 20% chancer, so we want to go ahead and just keep going in and out. And again, it's a tactic that's very useful if you are trying to get a golden mouse that spawns at a 20% chance. Leaving and exiting the room is the best chance, or the best way to do that to increase your likelihood that it's going to spawn. So that's really the only thing I can think of if it doesn't, of course, the first, time or two you enter a room. Let's try again. And look at that. The little jingle happened, and we have another golden mouse. And look at that, another red colored stone. I forgot that you get 3 of them just in this one room. That's number 8. That's crazy. We only have 2 more left of those left to find, which is just insane because we are... I would say this is probably the halfway point of the game. I think it's safe to say that, but we still have a long ways to go. Like, there's a lot of stuff left to do. So that's crazy that you can already find 8 red gems or red stones at this point. So, but now that we have cleared the room, because there's nothing left to find in here as far as collectibles go, we have a white colored chest. So very, very interesting. Let's see what's in here. Open it up, and what is this? Look at that. We're getting a call. Didn't see that coming.
Hey now, Luigi. What have you found there? Let me see it. Oh, it's an ice element medal. Now you can use the ice element. Ice elemental ghosts are found only in chilly places. You'll probably find them in refrigerators in cold areas like that. My research shows that they come out of hiding when you approach. Use the L button to expel ice element once you vacuum one of these ghosts up. If you press the L button all the way in, you can shoot out a frigid lump of ice. Yes siree, when water gets cold it freezes, right? Ice can be very effective against water. You could use it on water ghosts, for example. Even a hot bath would get cold pretty quick if you ice it down. Yep, that's a very convenient item you found there, Luigi.
Very interesting. So yeah, so this is the ice element medal. So yeah, just like with the fire and water, we can now spit out ice element. Again, like EGAD just told us, that is going to be effective against water elemental ghosts, which of course we have not encountered yet, simply because we just now got the ice element medal. But we're going to go ahead and see if we can get this Boo, and it's Jingle Jangle Mr. Boo Jangles. We're going to see if we can get him up here. Very nice. He had 50 HP, not too bad. We've seen worse. And that's going to make number 15. Alright, so EGAD is very happy, just like always. But now that we have the ice element, that opens up quite a bit of stuff for us to do. So yeah, this game just keeps getting more interesting. I love the variation in the elements that upgrade your Poltergust 3000 with. Very cool indeed. So now it is time to revisit this bathroom right here. Remember our friend that was taking their lovely little shower here? Just expose them and oh my goodness.